bunch of my friends from high school had opened up this big old warehouse. It was a chop shop. They would steal cars, trade the parts for drugs. The drug scene got worse. The drug enforcement agents found out we got a tip that they were all gonna raid the place. They gave me an AK-47. They showed me how to use it. I was a watchdog and I could use all the crystal meth that I could ever want. Almost a year living up there in the mountains, and I said, hey, I think it's time for me to leave. They shot my dog and put my dead dog on the porch of my tent trailer and said, hey, this is you if you're gonna try to leave. I gotta get out of here. One day, a bunch of Harley Davidsons pulled up into the driveway, and it wasn't the Hells Angels. It was a rival gang. They knew that my best friend had just ripped them off, and they took a pistol and they hit me across my face for over 30 minutes, beat me to a pulp. They tortured me. I said, hey, if you let me go, I'll go and get all the drugs and all the money that I have, and I got a lot hidden. I went into the closet and I got a shotgun and I came out and I was gonna kill everybody in the room. And I hesitated and they ended up taking the shotgun out of my hands. They took the butt end of the shotgun and they hit me in my head and they stuck the barrel of the shotgun in my mouth and they said, if you don't know God, you better start talking to him because tonight you're gonna meet him. It was the first time I ever prayed in my life.
Situated several hours north of Lima lies the coastal desert town of Huacho. Notoriously known for being the witchcraft capital of South America, as you can probably imagine, the spiritual warfare in this community is unlike anything that we've ever experienced. However, in the midst of both the physical and the spiritual poverty that exists, there still remains great hope for the city of Huacho.
We are very involved in action sports ministries. We have a small church on the coast of Peru, and we've chosen to use extreme sports, action sports, to draw people into a further relationship with Christ. Our surf camps are geared for non-believers and believers. We're not going to hit them over the head with a Bible or anything like that, but we do get to share influences, we do worship, and we share God's word and let God do the work. But we come here to have fun, because I believe if you do life right, you can enjoy sports and everything else, and we just want to show them they can do that with Christ.
This was the 18th annual surf camp that Craig and his wife Daisy have led, and getting to join them as they pour into the youth from the surrounding communities was such an honor for our team.
if you don't know God, you better start talking to him, because tonight you're going to meet him. And I said, God, if you're real, I really need you. I've really messed up my life. I've made some really bad choices, and I need some help. I went out the back door and I knocked on the neighbor's door and I was asking for help, and the young lady took me to the emergency room. I was in intensive care for 2 days. The police were there and they were asking me questions. I was actually more scared of the guys that I was involved with than I was the police, and I wasn't going to say anything. You know, I was trying to change my lifestyle, and then I heard on the street that there was a price on my head to kill me for all the drugs and money that were missing. I can't stay here in Southern California. I have to leave.
Recognizing the immediate need to leave his situation, Craig snuck out in the middle of the night and literally drove across the entire country, straight from California to Florida.
After staying clean for a couple of years, going to Narcotics Anonymous, and I felt like there was this void in my heart. And so a friend of mine said, hey, why don't we go around and try some churches? We went to a pretty solid Christian church, and there was this really cool worship band, and the message, I felt like it was speaking straight to me. It was out of John 3:3. You know, if you're not born again in the Spirit, you cannot see the heavens of God. And I took that to heart. At the end of the message, they said, hey, does anybody want to receive Jesus? And I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, my heart's pounding out of my chest, and I ended up standing up, and then everybody started clapping. I go, well, I got to go up now. There's no turning back. And I went up, and I was the only guy that went forward that day and received the Lord. And then after that, I came home, and it's like, I want to change everything about me. I was all excited. The youth pastor goes, hey, we're going on a missions trip. And so in 1996, that was my first missions trip, and we came to Lima, Peru, and it was the most amazing times of my life. I found out how to become a missionary, ended up going back the next year, staying 2 years. I married my wife, Daisy. We decided to come back here to Peru and be missionaries.
Growing up in Southern California, Craig was birthed into the heart of the action sports community. And with a testimony like his ability to relate to the youth in the midst of their struggles and difficulties came easy. The calling on their heart was always to pastor a church in Huacho. And it wasn't long before Craig and Daisy soon realized the influence that surfing and skating had on the youth. It was then that they began to intentionally go after those that no one else was reaching, the surfers and skaters.
Craig y Daisy son como unos padres para mí, espiritualmente, porque me apoyaron mucho, hablándome, animándome y dando consejos, enseñándome a través de los deportes. Yo creo que también, aparte de los deportes, es el amor de ellos hacia nosotros, los jóvenes.
Yo estaba en la playa, llegó Pastor Craig y bueno, me invitó a la iglesia, al grupo de jóvenes. Yo asistí ese mismo día, conocí a la señora Daisy, conocí a los Christian Surfers. Fue un momento bien chévere para mí porque vi como a mi pastor, vi como que parte de que quería ser mi familia.
El Señor nos trajo juntos, de verdad, haciendo este gran ministerio para los jóvenes. Mira, mi casa está llena siempre. Siempre hay skaters, surfistas, y entonces nuestro ministerio no es una vez a la semana, es 7 días a la semana. Y entonces yo puedo ver realmente que el deporte es la mejor estrategia para alcanzar a la juventud y a las personas adultas también.
Craig's testimony, alongside Daisy's hospitality, has created such a unique platform for their family to invest into this community. The result that we believe will truly lead to a better tomorrow for the city of Huacho.
It's like I know God has transformed my life, and He's using me to do that in the lives of some of these skaters and surfers that struggle with drugs and a lifestyle that didn't please God, and I can get real with them. Our heart has always been to reach, teach, and disciple. Share the good news, and we're actually investing into the next generation.
In addition to walking alongside many of the youth in their faith, Craig is actively training up young men and teaching them job skills and the value of hard work. Craig and Daisy have opened not only their home, but their heart as well, and the impact is clearly evident. There isn't a religion that exists that doesn't recognize that our world is broken. The needs around us are immense. And when you meet a family like the Tippies, with a passion for the least, the last, and the lost, you can't help but to see Christ in them. Their lives become an inspiration for all of us, and as a result, the world becomes a better place.